to yet another episode of In the Green Room Podcast Season 3. I am Brittany Shanae, your favorite podcast host. And if I'm not your favorite host, I will be by the end of this episode. Again, I am not here by myself. We have this beautiful black man right here. We got Josh, the Plant Zaddy. In the building. Exactly. Zaddy with a Z.
Daddy with a Z.
Period. You know, we got, we keep the plants in-house.
Absolutely.
We keep the plants. Are they healthy? Are they looking
They do.
good?
They look real healthy.
You know, my question before you walked in the door
What?
was, I wonder what he gonna say about my plants.
It's a vibe. That's all that matters. Is it's a vibe.
Okay,
so
great, because these are all my babies.
yeah. We get a couple of tips here and
Yeah,
there.
no,
you know.
Okay, we'll get into it
Yeah.
later. But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. It's
I
a
appreciate
pleasure.
you so much.
Absolutely. I've been looking
wait.
forward to it. We finna have fun.
Yes, we are.
Our energies have been matching since we met. And even
Yes.
before we met, somebody tried to connect us. Who was that?
His name is Terrence.
Yep.
He's a Kappa from Augusta. We grew up in the church together. Yep. Listen, it's all about community, y'all. Like, people be putting the pieces together and then them pieces be working.
Proper timing though.
Yes.
Because seeds are planted, but they start to bloom when they need to.
All right, you gonna preach your word tonight?
I'm feeling it. But we're gonna have fun too. So
So y'all know how we start every episode of In the Green Room with the affirmation station. So Josh, we have 2 affirmation card decks. What I'm gonna do is shuffle each of these decks. You are going to pull your own affirmations.
Okay.
Now, I just want to warn you that these affirmation cards are usually exactly what my guest needs.
probably.
So, without further ado, let's start with our first one. This one is by one of my favorite makeup artists. Her name is Danessa Myricks, Transcend Beauty. And these cards are really good.
Okay. They look like they've been through a couple of sessions,
See,
child. So they seasoned. I need to get the right one.
I pull them every single day of my life.
Okay.
Literally every day. Affirmations have really transformed, I feel like, my point of view. They've helped me through a lot because they're always right on time.
Yeah.
So let's see what affirmation cards you pull.
Honestly, it's not weird, but I've only pulled, this will be the second time that I pulled an affirmation card. The first time was at Pinky's American Sesh.
Really?
Yes, and it was what I needed. You want me to read it right now?
Yep.
Okay. Y'all ready?
Yep.
Oh, you are crazy. It says, you ready?
Yeah.
I am loved just for being who I am, and I am loved just for existing. Some people need to hear this every day. Everybody should hear this, honestly, but yeah, that's a good one.
That's a point blank period.
Yeah. But sometimes it takes longer to even get to this point.
Yes.
So this is good.
100%. Woo!
See, cards direct. I do like self-affirmations, you know, but this helps you kind of get out of yourself and allow different things to enter your space in a different way, even if it's worded different. I'm gonna read it one more time for y'all. It says, I am loved just for being who I am. And then y'all get to this later of who I am. I'm pretty sure, right? Okay.
100%.
And I am loved just for existing. So remember to continuously exist because it is valuable.
Yes.
Your space is valuable and the space you take up is valuable.
Hold on to that. That's yours.
I'll keep it?
For the rest of the
Episode, oh, okay.
So you can't go home with it now. It's mine.
Look, put it up on my mirror in the morning. Thank you very much. Okay.
All right, let's see.
Someone telling me to take the bottom one.
Take the bottom one.
Actually, let me take the
You
top.
already took it.
Dang. Ooh, this one gonna hit my soul. Okay. Hold on real quick. Let me read this out myself.
Take your time.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time, child. Take your time.
See, this is once again being self-aware. So this says, well, first of all, I am attraction. Like a magnet, what I put out into the world, I get back. If I lead with negativity, I receive negativity. If I lead with positivity, I receive positivity. Therefore, I choose to lead with positivity, and I am attraction.
Yeah. What you gotta say?
I mean, the law of attraction is real. from people to business opportunities to really honestly anything and everything. Like I just have led by that all the time. Yeah. And whatever I attract, I know it's for me, and whatever I detract, is that a word?
No. Repel.
Repel. Whatever leaves my life. It's not meant to be there.
Yeah. No, for real.
Yeah. That's good. I'm gonna leave this right here, right open.
Yeah. What I was thinking, if I lead with negativity, I receive negativity. If I lead with positivity, it's a choice, y'all. Yeah. It's really about making the choice to be good or be bad or be negative or be positive. So
it's in the Bible.
Yeah.
You reap what you sow.
Yeah, no. And it's in beyond, yes, it's in the Bible, but even beyond just the Bible, it is in every text. There is something about being a good person. The golden rule, you get what you give. You know what I'm saying? So I love these. I am loved just for being who I am. I am loved just for existing, and I am attraction. That's how we start in this episode, y'all. I hope y'all stay tuned because we got Josh, the Plant Zaddy, in the building. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Thank y'all again so much for tuning in to this episode of In the Green Room podcast. We are in our third season. Can y'all believe it? I'm not in disbelief because this was for me and this is for me, but I am really in awe of what God has done with this podcast, the people that I am meeting, the people that I am connecting with, and this person right here, Josh. I mean, I feel like this connection is vital to me, to the podcast, to everything that I'm doing because you are the Plant Zaddy.
Yes, ma'am.
And, I felt like when we met, it was just like, click. Yeah, we knew each other.
Like a long lost cousin.
Yeah, for real. I'm so happy to have you. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Absolutely.
Out of your planting schedule.
Look, left an event to come straight here.
Oh, You know what? I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Rocking the color green, of course.
Little Plant Zaddy hoodie.
Yes. So, Josh, tell the people who you are. Who is Josh? Where you from? Like, who are you? Let me know.
First and foremost, that is a very loaded question, especially with someone with so many layers as myself. So if I were to say, who is Josh, I would definitely say, one, a man of God, and a man of his word, and a man with a green thumb. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. A green thumb to grow, to thrive, to show other people how to grow within. Yeah. But I'm also a man full of, joy. Yeah. And that joy kind of came from pain. Yeah. But you got to learn how to work with your pain to make it work for you. I'm a man of creativity and innovation. I am a graduate of the illustrious North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University.
It's so funny when all these other schools be putting the D in front of theirs when the only D is the Fort Valley State University. But I'm gonna let you have that. Okay.
I thought she was gonna say the Ohio State, but let's not go there. No. That's the HBCU though, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so HBCU pride, you can put D in front of all HBCUs. I don't really care.
All do that.
All right. Right. But when you hold the number one position for so long in public HBCUs, you kind of got to throw that D in front of it. But we love it. Just say. But so I graduated in 2016. Straight out of college, I had a full-time position with Cisco Systems. Okay. So I am a techie. Okay. By trade, and also just because I love technology, but I'm a salesman. Okay. So let's add that to the list as well. So ever since I was 15, if it was owning my own lawn care company, working at a golf pro shop, Macy's selling women's shoes. Like I always was figuring out a product, an issue, and then figuring out a product to solve it, and then just figuring out ways to sell to whoever it was. So, you know, in looking where I am now, like I'm not surprised. Even like I just said, I own my own lawn care company, and now I'm in indoor plants, interior plant designer. So, you know, it always connects. So God was showing me then, like, I got something for you. I'm gonna take you through all these things so you can have the right tools and mindset to be able to handle everything that I'm gonna give you. And he keeps showing me little things. It's only been a year since I've been doing this, but I'm really excited to see what's going on. So does that answer the who is Josh?
Yes.
Okay.
Where are you from?
Oh God, I didn't answer it then. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, born and raised in a small town called Wyoming, Ohio. But I am the baby of 4. So I have one older brother, Robert Hite. You want me to go into?
You can if you want.
My brother, he lives in Miami I think Hollywood, Florida now, with his wife and children. They just had their first son, my first nephew from them. But brother, he is 40 now. We're 10 years apart. And then I have an older, younger sister named Ashley and an older sister named Alicia. Does that make sense? Older, younger sister?
Oh, yeah. Okay, got you. Got you. In the line of...
Yeah,
okay,
so Ashley, Alicia, and Robert.
Okay.
Ashley and I are 2 days and 1 year apart.
Oh, wow.
Wait for this. Robert and Alicia are 1 year and 2 days apart. Right. So my dad said, you're going to have to get rid of this because the next is twins.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So y'all all the same sign.
You know?
And what is that?
No, 2 of us are the same sign. The other 2 are Capricorns. Is that January?
The end of December into January?
Yeah. January 12th and 14th.
Okay.
So my sister Ashley and I are Cancers. Okay. So mine is June 27th and hers is June 26th.
Okay, summer baby.
Yes.
So you love outdoors? Do you love the sun?
Do I love outdoors?
I mean...
I do love the sun. You know. I don't look like it because I need a tan. But it's the winter time. Yeah, we start to, turn transparent. So, it's all good though. It's all good.
So tell me about, you said you started out of college working with Cisco, worked for Macy's in the shoe department. You had your own lawn care business. How did Plant Zaddy Club come about? Or before we even get to that, where did your love for plants come from?
So growing up, my mom always had plants around the living room, and she's very structured, so they weren't like all around the house. They were only in the living room and in the foyer. So she would always, tell us how to take care of them, the watering schedule, a routine, keeping something alive. But for me, and I'm realizing it now, so I'm speaking on my knowledge now, not then, but I'm a nurturer. And being a Cancer, I kind of can't get away from that. But like I said, growing up, she had plants all around, and they were Dieffenbachias, and we'll get into that later. But, just learning how to nurture for something as a young boy and now a man, I can see just having my hands on something and how it changed my outlook and how I think about things. You know what I mean? But then during COVID, since the answer was how Plant Zaddy came up, but plants, that's my mom. But Plant Zaddy really, like during COVID, we were in our homes really trying to figure out like what to do. And I needed something to care for, and it can't be a person. Well, it could have been, and it was, sometimes. But to have some consistency, okay? You need something with some foundation, and I found plants to just consistently be that vice for me. And if it started with 2, then a 3rd, then a 4th. And then I'm like teaching people how to take care of their plants with all natural manners in their homes, because also like I wanted to be globally aware and, sustainability at the end of the day, but just staying green. Like you don't want to have a green thumb and then be using chemicals all the time. So I was taking orange peels, banana peels, bananas,
eggshells.
making eggshells, but breaking them down the right way and not just putting them in the soil.
See, I feel like, let me just say something real quick. Every person that has come on this podcast has gotten me together in a way that I thought I had it together.
Because you thought you was throwing that in there.
Because I thought I was.
In eggshells.
The right way. Okay.
How do you do it? You just put it in the soil?
No, I put it in a Ziploc bag and I make sure I crunch it up
and
very finely.
Just put it in the soil?
Yeah, but I take my hands and I...
Yeah, you massage it a little bit. So think about how long it takes that eggshell to break down.
You're right.
So you got to start the process,
Yeah.
you know, if you want to get that nutrients to seep into the soil. It's good to do it,
Yeah.
but if you want to like do it properly so the soil can actually like really get the full value and fertilization from that eggshell. But you want me to tell you how to do that?
If you want.
Okay, where's the video? There's a video on the Instagram, but basically you want to like mash it down like you did, and actually you put it in the powder form, so you want to put it in the blender.
Okay.
And then pour alcohol over it. I'm sorry, not alcohol, peroxide. Peroxide breaks it down, and it's gonna start to bubble up and foam up. You're gonna take that first layer off, because that's the eggshell that is what would have been in the soil if you would have just put it in there, but you don't want to use that. Okay. You want to use the actual, Okay.
Listen,
And then mix it up.
We're learning.
Yeah. You're so crazy. But yeah, what was the question? Because I was teaching people how to take care of their plants in an all natural manner. And then from there, because I told you I had that sales mentality, I'm like, I am definitely not charging people to do consultations, but I could start doing that. So then I started doing virtual consultations. Then I'm like, I'm doing consultations on plants that I didn't sell. Yeah. So why not sell them? Yeah. So then I started to grow my plants, propagate them, sell them, and then, you know, consistently do that. And then after that, once again, I'm a businessman, and I figured these plants are in homes, these plants are in doctor's offices, malls. I can start to do maintenance. Yep. So then I started to do maintenance on my first client, Just Brunch in Duluth, Black owned by Chef Cash. Thank you so much for the opportunity. But that was, Chef Cash. Shout out. That was my first opportunity, and you know, that was from design to maintenance to everything. Like, they just allowed me to really use my creativity and my skills. But from there, we got more clients, and then I started doing festivals. And I think that's where you saw my first work, and that was at Revolt World. And that was 196 live plants, 68 floral arrangements, and a whole family of heights.
Did y'all just hear that? Did y'all 196 plants? Let me just tell y'all how God works. So y'all know I love me some plants, right? So I went to Revolt World. I worked with the social media team as a social media contributor, and I was in charge of getting content from the podcast filmings. So when I walked into the first podcast,
which one was it? Do you know?
I can't remember what the first one was that I went to. That was one of them that I went into. But the first one I walked into, I saw the plants on this, and I'm like, now who did these plants? And then every time, like if I would stay inside of a stage in between, I would see people moving all of the, like, who is in charge of these plants? And also, what they doing with these plants after the show is over.
That's what everybody was thinking. They were trying to steal them.
No, for real. Because that was definitely, because I've worked on productions. At the end of the production, what are y'all doing with the plants? Let me make sure y'all greens. Make sure y'all let me know when y'all about to get rid of all this stuff, because let me call Diaz. So I go home and I'm posting my recaps every day. And my friend Terrence from Augusta, shout out to TJ, he saw that I was at Revolt World, and I think he saw that you were in charge of all of the plants at Revolt. Everybody know that I love plants. So Terrence, I think he commented on your post, and he said, hey, Britt, I think you need to connect with, and I was like, so this is the man behind the plants, the Zaddy behind the plants. And then we connected, but they were beautiful, healthy.
That was the largest event that I have ever done, and that was my first event. It sounds crazy saying that, like that was my largest event that I've ever done as the first one, but once again, like I told you, God was showing me a taste. Yeah. And that's a taste, baby, when we get this full meal. No, but to be honest with you, like even having my mom there, they had to go back to South Carolina, and they stayed a whole other day because they was like, we're not leaving until you get it done. Yeah. And we started at 12 plants. It went from 12 to 30 to 96 to like 130. And then they were like, why don't we just give him everything? And they gave me everything and the florals. And I was like, I was calling my mom and dad every day, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And I was praying to God. And he's not going to give you something that you can't handle. So at the end of the day, I knew that I was going to get it done, but I was very proud of myself. And I still am to this day. Like, to be honest with you, I'll be looking back at the content because, mind you, when you do events like that, of course you get VIP access to everything. So not only am I doing the design for the whole festival outdoors, but I was indoors, like you said. And that was also another thing. I did not know that I was doing set design. I thought I was doing plant rentals and setting up and leaving. But I was live at Carisha Please. Now that one.
And I did that
You
line
didn't see
for
it?
No, the line for Carisha Please was.
I wish you would have known me because I would have just snuck you in the back. No, I wouldn't have. No, I wouldn't have. I would have just took some pictures and sent them to you. But next time. But yeah, that was an experience, and I really can't wait to do it again, prayerfully, and then replicate and keep doing it. But just being able to be in the same room with people who you honestly don't think that you would, and realizing that they are just people. Like, and just talking to them. 100%. Did you hear Carisha on the beginning of my video? She was like, "Oh, you did the plants. I love them."
Period.
So that's just motivation, period. Okay? Period.
No, for real. I think that is a true testament of what God has for you is for you. And something that has been replaying for me over and over. If God gives you a vision of something, if he gives it to you, he's going to give it to you. Like,
and everything you need.
Yes.
You gotta keep going.
And you have to trust. You have to trust. What happens with a lot of people, especially if they are transitioning into careers that aren't the norm.
Cookie cutter.
If you don't necessarily see the progress that you think you're supposed to see within a particular time frame, it's like, well, I guess this ain't it.
Move on to the next. If you would have waited 2 more seconds.
There's this it's a illustration, and it'll come up on different social platforms every once in a while, but it's 2 men that are underground and they're chipping away at the rock, trying to get to a diamond. And one man is literally this much space
from the diamond.
And he's like, well, I ain't get it yet. He turns around. The other man keep chipping, and guess what he get? The diamond. Like, everybody's not gonna understand your walk. Everybody's not going to understand the vision that God has for you. But if you trust, if you believe, if you have faith, faith is such a vital
variable in your equation.
Man.
If you ain't got that. And I'm not saying that you can't make it without faith, because who am I to say?
But it's hard.
But yeah, and I don't want to imagine it, and I've never gone through it, because everything I do, I lean on my God and the higher power. But also, like these right here, affirmations, he never said it was going to be easy either. And I think that that's where people get confused is you have a vision, but what made you think it was going to be easy? Like, even my vision of working at Cisco Systems and Ernst & Young, you know, that the big four, to say that I was 27 at that point, and making, I mean, honestly, you haven't asked me yet, but leaving my corporate job, faith, it's beyond faith, because that's security, you know? But what about security that he gives you? And I think that's what he was trying to get me to see, like, okay, let me push all the rest of this stuff away since you want to lean on it. And you need to lean on me, because I'm the one that gave you the vision, and you are clearly forgetting. Okay, so let me remind you, because if you, no, but hold on, wait, because he planted the seed, right? But it's up to me to fertilize, because it's gonna grow, okay? But that's the faith, that's staying steadfast on what it is to get that diamond, but it's not going to be easy. And that's what I'm realizing. Yeah. So when I have those moments and I'm, sitting in the car and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to pay my mortgage this month. And notice I said mortgage, not rent. But, God, I'm just saying, like, we have to start learning, like, financial literacy, real estate, and mental wellness. Yeah. Because without without mental wellness, you can have all that you want, but it can be gone like that. Yeah. So I've been doing some self work internally, and also I think that's going to allow me to, be my best self for the next person, the next little boy that has that vision, so I can help steer him. But also, I'll tell you this: when I was at the University of Toledo, because I did go to UT before I went to A&T, and I was in a pharmacy program, so I did kind of skip over that in the beginning, but I did want to be a pharmacist, right? I did want to be a pharmacist, and I worked in a pharmacy for 3 years, but at University of Toledo, I kind of I don't even remember where I was going with this. Where was I going?
Just the process.
Okay, so I went to the University of Toledo for 2 years, and I didn't really know like what I was going to be doing, right? But everything shifted. I shifted my degree, the state that I was in. I had a girlfriend at that time. Done. Like everything had to go. But I had to learn the lesson at University of Toledo to appreciate a HBCU like A&T. Yeah. And any HBCU is going to shape your mind to be around your people and not be a number, but they're going to push you to be your greatest. Like, best decision of my life. But I don't know. Like, the journey has been one that I would never trade in. I wouldn't, and it's hard every day, but like I said, to be a chosen one, it's it's something else, but you gotta keep pushing.
I feel like it's crazy because in reaching out to guests to come onto my podcast every season, I have people that ask me all the time, Brittany, when you gonna ask me to come on? I love y'all. Okay, I really do. I promise. But I never know who I'm gonna ask until I know who I'm gonna ask. And there's always something there. And in speaking to all of my guests about their journeys and their creative processes and the way that they got to where they are now, there's always a similarity. And it's usually in that faith walk. And it's usually in the ups and the downs and the ebbs and the flows and trusting the process and believing that what you are doing is for you. And it's going to come no matter
what you do,
no matter how, no matter what it's going to look like, no matter the timing, no matter what you thought, the way that you had it planned out in your mind, it's always going to come into fruition.
God is funny.
Oh, I say that all the time. Big God be like,
yeah, you thought. You thought it was going to be green.
Let me show you something. Let me show you.
Okay, and I'll be like, show me.
No, for
now,
real.
But that's surrendering.
Yes.
So you like that, didn't you? Yeah. That means you wasn't surrendering for some time. And when you did, you realize the difference. Same thing like me, Everybody needs that moment to surrender, because if you don't, you're going to be stagnant.
And surrendering is one of the most difficult parts of the process, because as humans, we want to control our outcomes.
Flesh.
We want to, I said it was going to happen like this. Yep. This is what I envisioned it to be like. I, me, blah, blah. Listen, you got to let go, baby. I call this season of my life the catch. I feel, how it's two examples that I use. You know how babies don't have a care in the world. You throw them up in the air and they just laugh, ha, 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 and then whoever is throwing them up is always going to catch them. Or I say it's like God just be like, whoo, he just toss you up in the air and you just free falling. You might be scared. You might be happy about it. But he's always going to be there, right there for you to land safely.
In his time.
Yes. And this season of my life has been probably the most difficult season of my life because I went from putting my all, literally my all, into being on these movie sets and these TV sets and being comfortable with making the money that I was making, but not even, not investing into me. And my focus was on the money, but my focus had shifted from him. And he was like, all right, watch this.
He shook the table. He shook the table like, hey, Michelle, just shaking the table.
Listen, and it's interesting because in TV and film, it happened to everybody at the same time. At the same exact time. So what happened was, I think that you were able to see who was made for this and who wasn't.
Right.
And made for this being who's chosen and who can deal with the fire and who can't deal with the fire.
But he also pushed you out of situations like you could be falling, like he threw me, right? I landed temporarily at Cisco and EY. But who said that his throw was done?
Exactly.
The floor dropped and I kept falling. Because he said, you learned what you needed to. Now let me take you to the next place, right?
Let's go.
But that looked like me taking a short-term leave of absence from my corporate job at that time. And that was over almost a year because I was having, and this is not too much information because this is my story and I feel like it can, help somebody else. But I was dealing with depression like I had never dealt with before, anxiety attacks.
Yeah.
I mean, at 29, I was having anxiety attacks and shortness of breath, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But the mind is so strong. And when you're dealing with depression, like I had a therapist, I had a psychiatrist, I have had every doctor that you could think of because they were trying to figure out what was going on. Internal bleeding. Yes.
From stress.
From stress. And they still to this day do not know and cannot say it is but it's stress. And my psychiatrist and my therapist told me that. So when that job was no longer in my life, the migraine stopped, the stomach pain, I was able to finally start to feel like myself because I wasn't being bogged down. But also I will tell you, like, in any job that I have, it doesn't matter what it is, I'm always going to excel because it has my name on it. So if
hold on, wait. Tell the people that. Tell the camera that. Whatever.
I said in any job.
In any job
and anything that you do, and it's not just for me. So let me talk to you. Like, do it to the T. Like, because you never know if you get a call back. You never know if it's going to be extended, and you just want to make sure, like, when you walk away, nobody can talk bad on your name. So I may not be there anymore, but my numbers show that I was an over-exceller. I was always on time for meetings. I never really took time off because I was always a hard worker. So when I stepped away and when I was and the reason why I was having the battles was because I was dealing with discrimination as well. And being the only black young man in my position. And they were using me as, what were they doing during George Floyd and all these companies started to hire.
Diversity and inclusion.
D&I, checking boxes and stuff. They wanted to bring me on to try to, diversify their workforce. And they weren't ready for it because I think different, I talk different, I work different. But what I'm gonna do is execute. And what you should be doing is working backwards to figure out how Joshua is getting this done, but that was not the case. So, trying to climb uphill all the time, I'm just so glad that I'm no longer having to deal with that and I'm now 100% full time. But he had to push me out of that nest because I wasn't leaving because I was comfortable with that money.
That's Skrilla.
Okay.
Listen.
But it got me where I am today. So,
Is there anything you wish you had have known before going into Plant Zaddy Club full time? Maybe about the business, maybe about just entrepreneurship in general.
Yeah, I got one. Funding. You want to say it again?
The Skrilla.
Funding.
Yeah.
Because once again, it's one thing to have security, but then when you're trying to build something and you don't have that foundation anymore to pull from, because like people say, don't leave a job unless you got another one. Yeah. And my other one was God's vision and gift. So it don't look like nothing yet, but I know what he has for me. So that's once again on faith. But like you said, even you weren't investing in yourself. And I literally have told my parents, like, I'm spending the next so-and-so investing in myself because I feel like if I invest in myself, then I'll be able to do everything else that I want to do. And it doesn't have to look like what the world is trying to tell me. I got my degree. I listened to y'all for 30 years. And now it's my turn.
It's my time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So funding. I wish I would have tapped into a business consultant or someone beforehand. Now, I am a one-man show, but I do have a woman on my right hand. Okay, and her name is Ashley Ivory.
Hey, Ashley.
And I'm gonna say her name out loud because there would be no Plant Zaddy without her. She's known me since I was younger, and she saw what I didn't see before God showed me. So when we first started, you know, she was looking and she saw the plants. She was like, you know what? You need to start recording. I'm gonna record it. So then she started to record everything, and then that's when my first Mooney Long, yours, mine, ours. Yeah, that was my first reel, and it went crazy. And I did another one. I accidentally took my shirt off, and then it went crazy.
Did you say accidentally?
I didn't know they were filming still, and I had gotten wet, so we were spraying. You gotta listen.
Accidental.
Go back when you cut this. Go back and show the reel.
So we need to,
because we were recording and the water hose was spraying and I had ended up getting wet. My friend Sakai was laying on the ground and Ashley, who I just said was the one who was recording. And because I got sprayed, I took my shirt off and we were in slow-mo still. And when they stopped it, because I didn't know at this point, she looked back. She looked back and she was like, hold up, nigga, hold up. You got to go back to that spot. Look at this. She showed me and it was like, oh, Plant Zaddy is here.
Yeah, that was. So
because I never wanted to sexualize the brand.
What?
Zaddy is already sexualized in a way. But for me, like people always say, like, what is a Zaddy? I feel like the best way to explain it for everybody to really get it, because a Zaddy could be a female or a male. It's really how you're carrying yourself, the confidence that you have, and that once again goes back to that green thumb. So that's why I tell people all the time, like I specialize in turning brown thumbs into green thumbs, and also pulling the Zaddy out of you, no matter who you are.
Period.
So we do have plant baby mamas and aunties and uncles, but I'm just saying, like everybody's a Plant Zaddy to me.
Love that.
But that's why I love the brand too, because it's so fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And well, we won't talk about that other part, but when they first hear Plant Zaddy, there's one thing that comes to mind. What? It's very earthy.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't do that. Okay. You know, we're into live plants, you know, horticulture, okay?
Gotta specify for the people.
You gotta specify. Because right now we're in plants, but you never know what's coming in about 3 years. So I'm just saying, like, you know, right now this is what we're doing and this is what we're gonna focus on. And we're gonna make sure that we do it, we dot our I's and cross all of our T's across the way, so yeah.
So you said that you do set design, you do...
You want me to run down the list?
Let them know exactly what Plant Zaddy offers. Yeah.
And I'll explain it as the evolution happens. So we do plant consultations, that's virtual and in person. So no matter where you are, we can reach you. I love being in person because I like to connect with people, but no matter what, if I can be valuable, then let's do it virtual. So we do virtual and in-person consultations, and then we sell plants online. We ship and we deliver. So if you're in Atlanta, we deliver, and we also do installations. Okay. So if you are in Atlanta, we come, we bring the plant, the pot, the soil, the fertilizer, and we give you a quick little lesson on kind of what to do, and then we leave you from there. But we also have maintenance plans. Okay. So that's maintenance plan. So one, we've got the plant, we've got consultations if you need it, but if you don't, we got maintenance plans. So we can come to your house, your office, hospital, whatever it is, restaurant, and do maintenance plans, usually on a bi-weekly schedule, because I like to make sure that everything's taken care of and not gouging on prices, because there's people out here that do come to establishments every week to water plants, but you're not doing anything. So maintenance plans, and we also do set design. So in terms of, you know, working on sets, designing them, renting plants, what else? Set design. think that's it.
Full service.
Full service. Anywhere there's green, we do. Or we provide it or we maintain it.
Okay.
Events, classes, all that. Like repotting classes, anything. Yeah. So I'm actually working on a partnership with a car dealership or a brand. Dope. So I can start to work with them. And I think by the time this is released, it probably will be up. So should I say the name? Or
you can say it, and then if we need to cut it, we can.
So Rivian, you know, the all electric.
Yes.
Yeah. So in Ponce. So once again, God just showed it to me, you know, and I just walked in there one day. Yeah. So they want me to start hosting events, pop-up shops. Because, I mean, if you think about it, the brand is all electric. So that's sustainability, green. And then that, once again, allows me to tap into what I've been through in corporate. Because then I can start to do events in corporate, which can maybe one day help somebody who went through what I was going through. Because like I said, plants was my vice, but sometimes you get so far, you got to go. But maybe I can catch them before so they can really understand wellness. And, you know, beautification of a space is one thing, but also the therapeutic aspects behind plants. So if I can do that for corporate, I think that will be great.
And you said Plant Zaddy has been around for a year.
Yeah.
A year.
I know.
Did you ever imagine in a year you would go from point A to point B?
Yes and no. I didn't think it would be like this, because this is like more so foundation in business, right? I think we're so used to watching people go viral and that popcorn TikTok effect. That's what I was like trying to get every single day. Like I'm like, oh my God, I only got 2,000 followers and my video got 30,000 views. That don't mean nothing, because what I'm doing, I'm gonna be impacting generations to come. 100%. Right? So there's like you said, everybody's journey looks different, and my numbers don't mean anything because I'm impacting people one by one. You see what I'm saying? So when that time comes, because we've even talked about it, I'm like, how do you have 10,000? God gonna give it to me. I ain't worried about it, because it's gonna multiply. And when it happens, it's gonna happen. And I don't know if you're gonna ask me this or not, but I have a couple of people who I look up to. And one of them is Tabitha Brown. And I have not only met her once, twice, 3 times. I'm planning things with her, and I'm speaking this into existence, right? And that's in California. But, you know, we're going to be worldwide, and I just want to continuously, like, connect and collaborate with people like you, because we are all, at the end of the day, like, trying to help someone, you know? And I think that the more we work together, the more we can accomplish. I also, in the beginning of the business, was one to gatekeep my vision. And not work with people because I didn't want them to steal my idea or whatever it might be. Like, you can't do that. I think I was like that for like maybe a couple months. But yeah, you cannot do that. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't, because you're blocking your blessings.
And I saw that a lot of times if God gives you a vision and you don't execute it and you end up seeing it in somebody else, it's because that vision needed to be executed. He just needed the vessel.
And your timing was off. So that's why I be trying to tell people, when he gives you a vision. And I think that's another reason why, because people always ask me, why are you so like perfect? Why does Plant Zaddy have to be so perfect? And that's why people don't see a lot of content from me. Like, I do have content, but I need content every day. I need to be in your face. But you don't, because I'm not a perfectionist, but I am holding this gift so close to me that he gave me, that I just know if it don't look right, I don't want nobody to see it. But see, there is beauty in imperfection as well.
It is.
So I'm trying to get used to that. So being raw, just like, you know, this right here, like this is my first podcast and this is me just talking. And honestly, to add, for the first year, she's so stupid. For the first year, I didn't say anything on Instagram. And I lied to you not. You can go scroll on my Instagram. For the first year, and maybe some, it was videos with me looking cute and, you know, like a cameo, music, but still very educational. Because I wanted people to get the vision, but I needed to understand what God wanted me to do before I just started talking. Because I knew it would be serious. And mind you, I also was pledging at this time. So it just is a lot. It's just a lot. But he gave me everything that I've always wanted, because I wanted to be a Kappa since I was young. But A&T, the Noops were not on campus for like 9 years. So, you know, I had to do what I had to do. And timing is everything. I wasn't able to do it in North Carolina. Came to Atlanta, and now I'm a Kappa. That's a network that's going to help me tap into younger men, because we don't really create spaces for us to really have a safe conversation around being vulnerable and nurturing.
Yeah.
And we always want to tell the young black boy, like, toughen up, you ain't gotta cry. Like, no, how about you figure out why he's crying? How about you try to tap into that and then have a conversation about his emotions? So he can then understand them when he's 13 and 13 or 20 and he gonna punch somebody in the face, because you know what I'm saying? Like, we just can't do that. And what we always see online is that music videos. Its popularity, what it looked like Krishan and Blueface.
Oh,
when I tell
both
you,
of those words are blocked on every social media network.
So you're gonna bleep this as well?
Nope.
Okay.
It's blocked. Blocked. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's terrible.
Sexy Red. I mean, we just need a found, and you probably like Sexy Red a little bit, you know. Say that after me, like you. When the lights off, you be, because I'm saying that, because that's what you be doing, right? I know it is. But
toxic.
It is. It's a little bit, but we always like a little bit of toxicity, right? We had Foxy Brown back then. We had Little Kim, but I just think now our generation is different. They have Foxy Brown while they also had Big Mama.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have Big Mama no more.
No.
We got Lil Mama.
40.
Okay, 40-year-old grandmothers. Yeah. And it's just, you know, values and everything are dropping. So if I can start to really penetrate the next generation in a different kind of way that no one's ever seen before, then, you know, I'll be here for it. Yeah. So municipalities, education, like TED Talks, like Plant Zaddy is
global.
It's going
and
places.
Doing the things that need to be done. So now that you are in this full-time entrepreneurship role, how do you find time for yourself, or do you find time for yourself? What's your personal life like? Because entrepreneurship is a 24-hour gig. Like, what does you time? What does self-care look like?
Okay, so first and foremost, I want to say that I have developed a bad working habit, because people always used to ask me, like, what do you like to do in your spare time? And I would always say work, because I like working, because I like making money, but I also enjoy working. Like I told you, I have been working since I was 14 and a half. Like, I was really young, and my parents just let me work because they saw it in me. And really, I got a lot of personality, like, from my mom, but that work ethic came from my dad. Like, he was always working, never absent from the house, but just always working, doing what he had to do, taking care of his responsibilities. So I think a lot of that rubbed off on me. But what I like to do in my spare time and how I kind of give back to me, to sound crazy, but one, I spend time with my friends. The last thing gonna sound crazy. I'm trying to get into reading because I hate reading. It's honestly, like, I hate that I even have to say that, because reading is, like, vital to survival, I think. But I'm trying to get into that.
Have you tried audiobooks?
I don't want to.
Okay.
I think it's different.
No, I get you.
Yeah, like, I need to process, you know, listening to stuff. But, you know, one day maybe I will do that. And then the next thing is, like, just chilling out. Like, I have to appreciate self-time and quiet, you know? And I'm not like an introvert, but I do like being at the house. So I just spend time with me. I might, you know, binge watch. But plants, that's the last thing. That's what I was gonna say sound crazy, because that was gonna be my first answer, but I wanna give you like a well-rounded answer. But plants, like, even this right here, I wish I had my shears with me. We're gonna have a, you know, consultation. But the fiddle leaf looks great, but at the end of the day, like, this right here tells me slow down. It tells me take a moment, right? And really sit in it. So if it's, you know, cutting that dead part off, or wiping the leaves off, because at the end of the day, that's what we do every day, is we wash our face, and most people don't wash their leaves, and that's how you can help the sun penetrate the leaf and have more photosynthesis, but we won't go there. But yeah, so I think it's really that, and that's where I also enjoy the fact that plants are my thing. Because it can go in so many different places, and I'm always around it. But one, that means I always got cleaner oxygen, detoxifying the air, and just all around feng shui. You know what I mean? Like this right here, what's feng shui? This. 100%. Because without this, they would probably be like, "Where's the backdrop?" But this is beautiful. Thank you. So that's what I like. Yeah, I mean, So, and I wish I really could answer that. Like, oh, I like to go out and go do hiking and do all this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's just more so internal now, and I'm able to be in my space.
But there's no one right way to do self-care or take care of yourself.
Right.
And I think, of course, social media has its hand in everything and a lot of people's perspectives about a lot of things. And when this whole self-care craze came about in 2020, people were pushing, you have to get massages, you gotta get facials, you gotta do this, you gotta do this as self-care. No, finding that definition. For me, my self-care a lot of times is allowing myself to do nothing.
Yes, because you're always doing something.
And especially as entrepreneurs and people that work, I feel like corporate jobs, we feel like we have to always have our hands in something and doing something 24 hours a day. And that is not feasible.
It's not healthy.
Because I was about to say, because what's going to happen is your body going to be like,
Me.
Yeah.
Shutting down from the inside out, depressed, not knowing what to do, balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that we have to go there. Our bodies have to take over sometimes. But a lot of people walk around here wondering why they sick, why they are frail, why they don't have energy, why all of these things. And the answer is you need to slow down and just chill. It's nothing wrong with
just being, existing. Where's that card? I am loved for just
existing. Just existing.
But that's why I said in the beginning, like that right there, like you have to get to the point to even understand that. So sometimes you do have to go through trials and tribulations to even understand it. So, it's a journey. And that's why you also, once again, have to give yourself patience. Give yourself grace. Yes. And you have to say sorry to yourself and move on. Talk to yourself and heal. Like that's what we don't do either. We like to move on. You have to heal. You got to. You can't just take this plant right here that's, it's not bad, but let's say you had a plant that looks like it's toxic, like just picking it up and putting in a new one, that's not gonna do nothing. What about the inside of the system and the inside of the plant might be okay, but washing the leaves, cutting the dead part off. Sometimes it's just beautifying something. Sometimes it's just looking in the mirror, washing your face, doing your hair, looking good, and that changes your mental. But you gotta pause to do that. You can't just run in all the time. You just can't do that. But I honestly, to tell you one more story, I did that when I was sick and I watched all my plants die. And it wasn't that I didn't care. It just was like I was losing me, and that was literally November last year. Nobody really knew because I was not posting. My friends were checking up on me all the time, what's going on maybe, but that also, if I would have, I think, expressed what was going on, I could have probably helped somebody else, but I have to get to the point to be comfortable to do that. But I definitely think that time period is going to help somebody else get through the next struggle that they're going through, Because there's no reason why, my plants were talking to me, Negro, get up, care for yourself, but you letting us die. So if you're not good, that once again was a clear indication, if I'm not good, ain't nothing around me gonna be good.
No. And that's, I think people, they want to skip past the working on self and making sure those inner workings, making sure the soil is good, making sure you working your hands in there, touching it.
Yeah, roots is strong.
Even touching those places you don't want to touch, because what will happen is we want to, and it's definitely we all have fallen victim to it at some point in life. Is you said, you want to just move on to the next thing without dealing with that. No, you move on to that next thing and you putting a Band-Aid on it, is the Band-Aid's gonna come off.
Eventually.
So you want to move on to the next relationship and you haven't even worked on the relationship that you have with yourself.
Like there were tools that you were supposed to take with you
100%.
from that last thing to the next thing.
And I understand that, you know, dealing with the shadows, it can be a dark place, but it's important that we reach into those places. And you don't have to go head first, and you can put your big toe in there.
Be patient with yourself. Go slow.
Yeah, you can, and that's allowed. But people, because they think that the healing process is so terrible, they just skirt past it all the way.
But you know, in our community,
it's so, and that's why I'm happy to have a platform like this where people can talk, and there are so many spaces now that people do feel comfortable to speak about their healing journeys and their processes, because it's a process, it's a journey. It doesn't
and it's
happen.
yours.
Yes.
It's not meant for nobody else to understand.
And if you do find the courage to speak about it, you'll understand that your journey, although it is yours, you're not the only person.
You in parallel with somebody else, and there's a community. But you got to be willing to tap into it, like you said. You got to get ready for that.
And it is hard. Yeah, it's hard.
But I would say I'm very happy that I was gonna say in our community, like it's kind of shunned upon and taboo. Which it kind of is, but it's kind of not. Like there's a light at the end of that tunnel. And I think even as a community, that's one thing that we have to dig back into our shadows and understand why. Like it's not just self, it's also community to understand where that came from, because you got it from the community. It's not just random. But you know, it's coming from, it's not only slavery, because I always want to like put that on it. But at the end of the day, when you put so many constraints on somebody's mental, they're going to teach that to their child. Or it's the same environment that they were in because they haven't gotten out of it, right? So that's what you know, and you don't know how to move on, right? And I think everybody knows that, but at the same time, it's going to take triple the effort to rewind and replace what you need to and replenish and heal. But for me, like that's why, like I'm very glad you have this platform, but that's why I said we got to work together, because everybody has platforms for the same purpose, but we got to work together to kind of reach the same thing and more people in scale. But yeah, like the more we talk about it, the more we do, and the more the younger generation sees us do, then they will as well, because it'll be the norm. But that's why I'm glad to see, you know, Taraji P. Henson putting pods on, you know, corners for mental, you know, awareness and things of that nature. But mental awareness literally should be one of the first things that people think about when they wake up in the morning. How is my mental? And I'm gonna say I was dating someone, because it could be current as well. I was dating somebody who would stop what we were doing and be like, "You good? Like I just want to check on you. Like, is there anything that you need?" And it's random. But that was like maturity. Like I had never gone through or been through or had a conversation with somebody. We just like, you know, chilling, and they want to just see how your mental is doing. And it's not them being nosy. It's literally like, these are normal conversations that need to be had. Because no, I'm not okay. Like I had a bad day at work, but I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't want to, but you got to open the space up. So.
I was about to ask, do you find, because it sounds to me that you've done a lot of work on yourself. Do you find it hard to connect with potential partners because of the amount of work that you've done on yourself?
When you say potential partners, are you talking about in business, or are you talking about in personal life?
Relationships. Oh, okay. No, because for me, the past year and a half, me and my ex broke up in February 2022. So I've been single for a total of 2 years. And connecting with people since I've been consciously working on when you start consciously working on yourself and going through, people that don't, they stick out like a sword.
That's because now you got to gauge.
Yes, but it's hard to connect with people now, especially the unhealed ones. Because I'm not going to say that I'm healed, because I'm still healing. It's a process. Growing. Yes. So do you find it hard, or do you find that you attract?
I was just about to say, I don't find it hard. I find it to be a blessing, because if we don't connect, there's a reason why, and we won't be talking no more. And God actually just probably made or let me dodge a bullet in 2 years that I didn't know about. So if we didn't connect, I don't find it hard, because that means we weren't supposed to. But also, in realizing, because I think you might be similar to me, the light that I have, and when I walk into rooms, it is not only contagious, it's like gimme, you know? And I used to give it in multiple different ways. So, but when I got exhausted to the point of no return, I had to turn around and look at myself like, what in the world am I doing, and where am I at? Oh, I'm north, east, south, and west, because I done gave myself to everybody, and the middle of it is the nucleus. There ain't nothing there. So I had to feed into myself.
So, I mean, we talking about relationships. You single?
So how am I going to answer this? Do I have a ring on? No, I don't. So if you're asking me,
single? I got on a lot of them. So,
but to be honest with you, I do always wear one ring specifically, but I didn't today because honestly, I think I just forgot. But I am. If somebody asked me to go on a date, would I go? No.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah,
because what? I was gonna say, because if somebody asked me to go on a date, where we going? You picking me up?
I am
Because if you not, we not going.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I feel that. Because, I mean, with all of the questions that I've been asking, entrepreneurship is a full-time job. You want to take care of yourself. What does that look like? You do these things, but also, again, entrepreneurship is a full-time job. So do you have the time in your full-time job to even give to somebody? And I think that I know that I have entrepreneurs in my circle that they run. The desire for love is there.
But they don't make the time for it.
No, they don't make the time.
Because they don't have it.
Yes.
But that's why you have to be with somebody who understands where you are. And they need to be woven in easily. And they should see your drive, and they should want to compliment it and also uplift you. So, depending on when this shows, that person has woven in, and it needs to just make sense at the end of the day. And being a full-time entrepreneur, if you're dating, they need to be your partner, your assistant, like everything. But that should not be a conversation to be had. They should just check all those boxes, because you need like, and that's all I gotta say about it. I've given myself to people who don't care, like even in corporate, like I wasn't full-time, but still at the end of the day, like you have to compliment me and where I am. And I could have more time in corporate, which allows me to do all these other things. But if you're not pouring back into me to fill my cup up, and I'm also doing the same thing, that it's just not going to work. But the immature Josh, not Plant Zaddy Josh, was allowing that to happen. And that's plugging myself up to an outlet all the time. And I'm running myself dry.
That's real.
Have you done that before? Who hasn't?
Exactly.
But you've grown and matured.
100%. And when it won't happen again, because I know me, I can look at myself in the mirror and I can see me. See me for real. And I'm not allowing anybody that type of access to, no, this is not a free for all. I'm going to give you what I give you. And I lacked a lot of boundaries. So where I am now, I'm solid. I'm 2 feet down. I'm standing
deep.
On business.
Okay.
Business. Okay.
Lord.
So I got this question that I asked. Wait, what you was about to say?
I was going to say, leave Mr. King's phrase out of 2024. Because that business, Lord.
Well,
But I'm excited for this question.
Yeah. So this is a fun question. Okay. I like to ask people to give me a random story. It can be funny. It can be wild. I just want some type of Give me something random that we would not ever guess, know, something.
You want a story, not a fact?
It could be a fact.
This is one thing that people don't really know, but I think they like. Why are you looking like that?
I'm just waiting on it. I'll be ready for it. I'll be
What
ready.
you about to say?
Yeah, you
No,
see,
I
I'm over here twiddling my thumbs like, ooh, what you got?
I was just gonna say that I can sing.
See, I sense that from
what I'm
you
saying?
though, because I'm
Everybody
a singer.
Uh-huh.
I'm a singer though, and I think I heard you singing earlier.
But see, I be playing.
But I'm a singer.
It's a tone though. You can hear it. Yeah, so that's one thing. I mean, so that's the other thing. Like God gave me so many gifts and talents. Sometimes I don't know what to do with them.
No, for real.
So, that's why I'm glad I can focus on plants right now. But if I wasn't, I would be designing. I would be sewing. I'll be like, I have a sewing machine at the house. I have a sewing machine at the house. I have ideas for hair care. Like this one thing, I'm so serious. Like this is going to change the game, the industry. Market. What's today's date? This 18th?
The 18th?
At what time? Yeah. Just
what
know.
time is it? 8:05?
I said it. And it's not Plant Zaddy. It's Joshua Hite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all heard it here on the Green Room Podcast. Okay.
It's coming.
So.
Was that interesting?
No, that was good.
Oh, it was?
No, it was good.
Oh, okay, good.
It was
good.
I mean, you said most people don't know. They have not. I mean, you listed out all of these different things that you do, but I could tell that you definitely have a singer's tone, and I can point them out from a mile away. But I like to close out by asking simply, what does green mean to you?
One word? Can I just talk?
No, you can just talk.
Green, I'm going to close my eyes while I talk. Green means life, growth, prosperity, health, wealth. Go. Yep. And don't stop. And break through all the barriers that need to be broken through for you. Because my barriers are different than yours. Yeah. But green also, for me, I probably would say means to stop. And that might not make sense. But if I think green, that means I'm going all the time, right? But where's that balance? Yeah. So that once again, because if you would have asked me that some years ago, I would have just, think of the positivity, but there's also another side to it. So to stop and pause for a second. And maybe it could be appreciating all those things that green brought you, that growth, that prosperity, health, wealth. And I mean, for me, that's what it was. Yeah. So. That was
good. That was good. Oh, yeah. Thanks. I mean, I've asked that question probably about 10 times now. And you're the first person to say that, but it makes sense. Like you said, if you're going and going and going and going, when do you get the chance to appreciate all of the green around you? Yeah. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for coming in.
Absolutely.
What I want you to do now is into that camera right there, let people know where they can find you, what you got going on, how they can shop, just let it fly. Okay. Let it go.
Before I do that, can I do one more thing? Yeah. What's green mean to you?
Wow. Okay. The podcaster is being interviewed. Green means growth. Green means abundance in all forms, not just prosperity, in relationships, in duty. Green also, for me, represents being a good steward with the things that I have, using them in the right way.
And appreciating them and not abusing them. Because don't let the wrong one see it, because he'll take it away. Quick.
Green represents peace. A good, calm peace, even when things are crazy.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. That's a good place to end.
the even when things.
Yeah, because I've been telling people, like, even through everything that I told you I've been dealing with my job, I have never felt the sense of peace and the level of peace and so much chaos. And to know and feel that, like, to even think, like, the day I had called my sister because she's a doctor, and I'm like, girl, I think I'm dying because I am bleeding from the inside. Peace. Yeah. Because I knew he had me. Yep. You know? Yep. And when you get to that point, that's where, like, nothing is going to be able to tear me down from this point because I always know where to rely on and what to look at. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Green is a way of life for me. Yeah. And green is the glass is half full and never half empty.
Mm-hmm. Well, like my half glass got a propagation in it, child.
It's still half
it's
full.
Still do. Got a little snake plant sticking at the top.
Right.
But
so let them know where they can find you. All the things.
Thank you again for allowing me to share this couch with you, this green couch. But as y'all know, this is Plant Zaddy. I was born Joshua Hite, but we're gonna go with Plant Zaddy until God says not to. But you can follow me on Instagram at Plant Zaddy Club, or my personal Instagram is infinite_Hite. That's HITE. But like we said, we sell plants. If you ever need any help or need some help kind of growing that green thumb, definitely hit us up. But we got some things planned for the summer of 2024. So like we said last year, we did Revolt World, Hallmark Mahogany. We got big events that's going on. So just stay tuned, definitely. We're gonna be impacting the community like never before.
Y'all heard it here on In the Green Room podcast. This is another episode. I am your host, Brittany Shanae. This right here is this man right here.
Okay.
This right here is my
swag. Whoa.
But yeah, so we got Josh, Plant Zaddy Club. His business is Plant Zaddy Club. Y'all tap in with me. I appreciate y'all for tuning in for yet another episode of In the Green Room podcast. Thank you. I am filled with so much gratitude for In the Green Room podcast. We are in season 3, y'all. Season 3. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify. Make sure you follow In the Green Room podcast on Instagram. In the Green Room podcast, simply that. And also follow me on Instagram, your favorite podcaster, Brittany Shanae, BritTaney. Okay. All right. I got to let them know every time.
You got to.
Because, quick story. It's a few different spellings of my name out there, but this is the proper one. BritTaney, Shanae. All right. I love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful life. Tune in to the next episode. See y'all later. Bye.
And share it with 2 people before you leave.
Yes.
Okay, share it with 2 people. Share.
Pushing plants.
Okay. Pushing P. But Diefenbachia were used for slavery, torture devices.
Drop the gems, okay?